This episode has loads left to do. We're going to peer the clip of Stuart Alder performing Stay with Robin Hood. We intend to do it. Do you consider the timing is proper? Do you consider it's a coincidence that something is being organised at Robin Hood? Well, permits talk approximately it is the Australian Reserve Bank's digital forex, Ethereum, owned by way of Microsoft. The blockchains I've got you included. What's happening with Bitcoin, Coinbase? Rumours approximately the paper are circulating. Soon the charge chart for XRP appeared. There are quite a few alternatives in an effort to don't forget, and we are able to speak everyone in elements, so please bear with me. Remain calm, take a seat and trap a chili. Grab a drink, and allows you to use Bitcoin to dive in. 233 hours of Ethereum have exceeded in 5991623 hours. As of proper now, USDT and USDC are down 33%. Both USDT and USDC have finished at their respective dollar marks, even as XRP has skilled an average increase of 57 cents. Where do we go along with a total cryptocurrency marketplace valuation of $1.7 trillion or 2.16%? We're on our manna, parents, and the opportunities are boundless from this factor ahead. Australian Reserve Bank states, Australia states that they'll provide the wholesale significant financial institution digital foreign money priority over retail. Australia, the Central Bank of Australia, introduced its purpose to cognizance on wholesale CBDC, PDC currency. Compared to a retail version, Imperative Bank virtual currency gives fewer obstacles and extra capability benefits. The Reserve Bank of Australia declared that paintings on a wholesale relevant financial institution virtual currency will take priority over a retail version. The time period wholesale digital currency, CBDC, refers to a digital token that important banks problem to banks and different economic institutions for use in everyday transactions. While all G20 countries and different nations have been searching into important banks' virtual currencies, DRBA is dedicated to prioritizing its painting schedule on wholesale virtual cash and infrastructure, together with wholesale CBDCs. Given that a growing number of significant banks are promoting their virtual currencies because the destiny is digital currency, should Ethereum end up the next Microsoft or possibly even the Microsoft of the blockchain? According to the studies, underperformance might also enhance by way of a year's stop. The Ethereum blockchain has the maximum energetic developers and users, and its marketplace capitalization is 5 times more than that of its closest rival. And it controls over 60% of all DeFi assets. Ethereum's are similar to Microsoft's blockchains. The asset manager made a few fascinating remarks, and we these days witness Valen's little tune. Is that what we will do? Let's check with token 2049 as his nursery rhyme. But well, I assume you do not care when you have all that money. I did make the forecast that Ethereum will quit to be a top coin, and I stand by it. This man or woman seems detached to the world. This is my prediction for 2025. Time will tell if it is accurate. It's just a prediction. However, I actually have a sneaking suspicion that Ethereum can be bypassed. Then we found that Stuart Alder was gift on the Goof Fin coverage alongside Robinhood and Gold, and that XRP and Bitcoin Solana are vying for positions, and 3, at the same time as BNB and Tether are vying for positions 4 and 5, with Ethereum being unnoticed. How charming is that? Now, as I referred to in my introductory comments, looking this film has significantly benefited the Post-Row Center. In addition to Stu, we've any other alert. Sandra is a Hoya 2 times over. Sandra holds a grasps an undergraduate degree from Georgetown University and oversees the blockchain and digital belongings efforts on the World Economic Forum. It's terrific to have you ever. Sandra, all proper Dan Gallagher. Let's begin with Dave Laval. Dave is yet another. Then we've Dan Gallagher, who has been a big supporter of the Post-Row Center for more than 20 years. Dan, we first worked collectively on proxy balloting and the energy of shareholder rights in New York while you were an SEC commissioner. You spoke there. Alam is an amazing, tremendous person who allows us in so many extraordinary approaches. Her career has encompassed the whole lot, from traditional finance to dealing with ETFs on a grayscale platform. I'm going to offer this to you along with the panel. Thank you a lot for presenting the creation. It is clear that the subject of our panel is cryptocurrency and the economic markets. However, earlier than we continue, Stuart and I had a verbal exchange earlier. For the duration of which you expressed your cognizance, which you cannot set up a strong cryptocurrency market infrastructure without first acquiring permission from regulators. And I've talked to numerous individuals in this region, and the overall notion is that the election in November is critical. For the cryptocurrency sector, the election in November is crucial, in the main due to the fact one contender has pledged to rep many in the discipline except as true with it's been adverse to the enterprise as an entire. I guess my question is aimed in the direction of November, and I even have some concerns about the election. Specifically regarding the pinnacle line at the ticket, how significant is that this cycle's presidential election for the president to the industry's durability? The enterprise's toughness? Thus, I would like to say thanks. I understand that Ripple has usually prioritized compliance. We have been in business for 12 years, and we have constantly interacted with lawmakers and regulators. This election cycle, we have met with the Trump campaign and the Harris campaign, and the RSC has undoubtedly been very vocal. We have additionally established our guide for each Republicans and Democrats at the RNC and DNC conventions. Look at their convention's 16-page, 1-paragraph platform assertion. declare unequivocally that the US will give up its conflict on cryptocurrency and grow to be the global center of cryptocurrency. The Harris marketing campaign has no longer but one giant recognition. However, they have privately expressed a choice to trade the coverage, so I do believe this is a viable option. First and primary, the nation's politicians need to put off the motivation for unelected bureaucrats. It is sure that cryptocurrency is right here to live and has mounted itself as a credible voice in politics. We need to be heard. After all, Dan, an SEC member turned into within the SEC, so who is jogging these regulatory groups to create coverage through enforcement? Whether it's a Republican administration, a Democratic administration, or an aggregate of both, that matters. How are you feeling, Alan? When I became there in November, the election wasn't too awful. However, now that I've ordinary the predicate, it is a beast. Look, I agree with Steve is exactly correct. I believe that is a binary scenario. You already know that if Trump wins this election, crypto will win if, say, Harris wins. Examine your argument. Regardless of their mutterings, proceed carefully and bear in mind that Moscow also has a reset button. It did not actually feature all that nicely, however, I accept as true with it'll arrive in one form or every other. I do see a path main to legislation. About the law, observe the presence of the CEO of Robinhood. A distinguished discern inside the cryptocurrency enterprise. You realize he is sitting up there with Stu, and he is pronouncing winds of Trump triumphing. It's now not a twist of fate, I'm positive. They had a few handshakes and conversed in the back of closed doorways. Realist on Robinhood at XRP, well, those are exciting times beforehand. Crypt plans to launch 5 colorations. Scenarios, choose your selected color. He said that older pumps are experiencing malfunctions. Let me try to make this as exciting as possible for everyone watching, keeping in mind that the bottom of this cycle is 28 cents. We're considering a $3 XRP. At least he has momentum as we goal to attain an all-time high of $485, which is marginally better than the previous excessive of $283. If we spot it, proceed to purple area 622. Where do I stand on this well? Given that blue could enhance it to $7 and that the parabolic blow-off top would be approximately $27. Guys, that is the worst case state of affairs for the apocalyptic scenario. This is if there isn't a bull run or anything insane. These markets are presently soaring around $2 trillion. We obviously do not want to be there, but because the closing doomsday state of affairs, if we play out and we spoil that 75-cent range, like I've been speaking approximately, we're searching in between his yellow and blue containers. Those are really best goals. I agree with we are in all likelihood to reach an all-time high of among $1.50 and $2 by 2020. I consider we're headed closer to that degree. Our conservative estimates endorse that 100% of us ought to probably reach double-digit territory, allowing XRP to reach its height. Money need to, in our opinion, rotate out of conventional markets and into cryptocurrency with price cuts. This is 100% viable and warrants consideration. It's nonetheless very early in the sport, people. Let's see how Q4 unfolds and then revisit the analysis.